Well, welcome back, Walker and Tanner, and whoever else is watching by this time. I'm Bryce Walker, and I just got up from a nap that was so good it hurts. Alright, lesson 1.5 real numbers. Here we go. There are different groupings of numbers when we talk about numbers. Some of these you know, we're just giving names to the groups so that we can reference them easier. Okay, first group. Natural numbers. The natural numbers are the numbers that go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so on and so on. So they are easy enough to understand. So nothing complicated, just know that natural numbers start with 1 and we just count and they keep going wherever. So 27 is a natural number, 502 is a natural number, etc., etc. Next one, we have integers. The only difference with integers, you know what, scratch that. There's a group that's not listed on this little chart here that comes next. Next, after natural numbers, the next group are whole numbers. Whole numbers include all the natural numbers. The only difference is that instead of starting with 1, they start with 0. Next, we have integers. Now, for integers, you just want to think of a number line with all the little hash marks on it. A number line includes all the whole numbers, but it also includes all the negative versions of those numbers too. So we have all the negative number, all the whole negative numbers. So we go down to negative infinity. We have things like negative 1,000, negative 210, negative 3, negative 2, negative 1, 0, and we also have all the positive whole numbers as well. 2, 3, and they go into infinity as well. So we call those integers. If they're the full whole single number, I don't know how another way to describe that. If they're the hash mark on a number line, if they're complete numbers, they're integers, positive and negative. Rational numbers are next, and they actually have it's built into the word that can help us. Rational ratio. What's a ratio? Well, we know it as something to something else. We've heard it a few examples in the past, but really what ratio means is it can be written as a fraction. So, for example, we have 4 over 5, that can be written as a fraction. Which is the same as 0.8. So it can be a decimal too, but the point is it can be written as a fraction if we wanted to. We got 1 2/3, that can be written as a fraction. We've got 6.25, that could be written as 6 1/4 if we wanted to, etc., etc. We also have the negative versions of all these. 0 is still included. All the integers are included as well because they can be written as 2 over 1, for example, is a fraction. That's a type of ratio. We also have all the negative versions. We could have negative 1/3 if we wanted to, negative 6 over 1, and a whatever, negative 100 over 32. Whatever, it doesn't matter. As long as it can be written as a fraction one way or another, they are considered rational, positive, or negative. And now, also, well, next we have irrational. Now, notice on our chart over here, so before, natural numbers are a group of integers, are a subset of rational numbers, and they're all in the same bubble. Now, we're going to talk about irrational numbers, because irrational numbers break away from this group. I'll write in a separate number, or a separate color. Irrational mean, well, if rational means can be written as a fraction, irrational means it cannot be written as a fraction. And some examples of those are pi and square roots are just some example, the main examples you'll see. But for pi can never ever be written as a fraction no matter how hard you try, and the square root of 2, the square root of 67. These are things that if we tried to write them as a fraction, we could not, even if we wanted to. So in the summary, we'll go back. Rational numbers, well, natural numbers, 1, 2, 3, up to infinity. Whole numbers include all the natural numbers, but also include 0. Integers include all the whole numbers and natural numbers, except now they include all the negative versions. Rational numbers include all the integers, but now they include everything in between all those whole numbers that can be written as a fraction. And then in its own group, we have irrational, the things that cannot. Meaning not, ratio meaning fraction, not fraction. And together, these rational and irrational numbers form a group called real numbers, which is what we see right here. Now, you may be wondering, what are complex and imaginary numbers? That's a great question. I'm not going to answer it because it doesn't matter right now. So, in algebra, at least for the moment, you're not going to know. So you're just going to have to live with yourself. But anyway, that's basically the groups of numbers you're going to be working with. All right. See you in the next lesson. Bye.